Hey everybody, I'm Jordan Cornett, your host. On behalf of Bounty Paper Towels, a very special occasion we're celebrating, and guess what? We're gonna have a lot of fun here too. It's Pride Month, and more importantly, it's the 50th anniversary of Pride. So to celebrate in proper fashion, I had to get some of America's biggest names in sport, and they are huge personalities. So special to me and probably to you, I figured why not have them in my own home? Come hang out in my kitchen and have some fun, hang out and make some special recipes, some food, some drink, laugh and love, because that's what this month is all about. So in this quarantine, is Pride canceled? Absolutely not. We might not be doing the parades or the parties you're accustomed to, but we are gonna have some fun here in our homes. So sit back and relax. The fun's about to begin. Get ready, everybody, and celebrate with Pride. I'm an ally. I hope you are too. It's Pride Month, the 50th anniversary. We're about to have some fun.
Hey Ash, hey Allie.
Hi Abby Wambach.
Hi Jason Collins.
Thank you for inspiring us, especially during Pride Month.
Happy
We love you
Pride.
guys. Happy Pride.
Hey, Ali and Ashlyn. I'm excited to do some fun cooking. Can't wait to see what you guys are going to come up with.
Hey Jason, Abby Wambach here. I'm so excited to be joining you on this awesome campaign, not only with Bounty, but with me, you, Ashlyn, and Allie. I'm a huge fan. What are you making? What are you gonna make for us?
Leader off the field. I am so excited. I know you are to welcome Abby Wambach to our kitchen. Abby, happy Pride Month.
What's up, Jordan? How's it going?
I cannot believe we're in the Icon's kitchen right now. I gotta pinch myself to make sure this is actually happening. Abby, we are so excited, me and all of our friends watching, to join you and see what kind of recipe you have for us today.
You know, it's exciting. I'm excited to be here. Excited to meet you virtually. And I guess welcome to the Wambach Doyle Melton kitchen.
Yeah, exactly. And the Wambach Doyle Melton kitchen has those 3 bonus kids of yours. So I imagine you're using a lot of this stuff, right?
Yes, Bounty is definitely on high demand here. The pandemic, obviously, it was a scary time for a lot of us folks who require much cleaning. I'm kind of a neat freak too, so making sure that the surfaces are cleaned down, and then of course like disinfecting was a big deal. So making my way to the supermarket and making sure I could get my rolls of Bounty was like really important, or should I say roll of Bounty, because they let you have one.
Well, and that's the beauty of it. You only need to use a few sheets and it does the job, so it can last for an incredibly long time.
Yes, they definitely do, especially if you got the doubles, right? If you got the doubles on hand like we do.
I mean, this is so exciting to be talking to you, and I can assure you the fans and friends that have joined us here and are watching are very curious about a lot of things. So we have a lot to get to, Abby. Most importantly, the 50th anniversary of Pride. And Pride is year-round, but most especially focused upon during this month. What does Pride mean to you?
Well, Pride means we're going to have an interesting gay pride parade right here in my
Two legends!
This is my wife, Glennon. With the social distancing, it's been a little bit different in terms of the way we have been celebrating Pride this year. But because we are firm believers in intersectionality and how every marginalized folk need to band together, the way that we've really been celebrating Pride this year is by marching, protesting for Black lives and Black lives justice in this country. So that's kind of how and I know that it's people will be like, wait, what do you mean? It all is super connected. And she'll probably go put on something else here in a minute. But really, this is kind of how we live.
We have to wear our Pride gear at home now and have parades in our kitchen because we can't be together. So we parade in our kitchen.
The room is about to combust. Glennon is joining you too. I mean, there's just too much talent in one kitchen right there. While I've got you both here, I've got to ask, because we're talking about Bounty, we're talking about Pride. Who is the messiest one in that kitchen? Who uses the most of this?
Well, I'm the one that uses the most of it because I am a clean freak. I would definitely say that we all contribute to the mess. This is me trying not to get into a marital fight right here. But I would say that we are different kind of clean.
Well, also, I don't know how to cook.
Yeah.
So for me, kitchens are for dancing, and for Abby, kitchens are for cleaning and cooking, right?
Yes, and also kitchens for Glennon happen to be cabinet doors stay open.
Yes.
I don't know if you're a cabinet door open guy or a
I'm
cabinet.
an open and naturally close. I mean, is that what you do with those cabinets?
You're supposed to close cabinets, right?
Well, I just feel like you're just going to come right back. You're just going to come right back to the cabinet. So if you leave them open, it's part of simplifying.
I've turned into like host to mediator right here. This is kind of unexpected.
Yeah, we're going to do counseling after this.
Yes, I mean, are you Team Abby or Team Glennon on the cabinets / cleanliness in the kitchen for sure?
I don't know, two bestsellers. It's really hard to decide between the two of them. So I'll remain neutral on that front. Well, we're off to a great start. This is going to be incredibly fun. But I think it's time to get to cooking. That's why we got you here. We've had some fun recipes. I want to see if the icon on the field, the icon that is the motivational speaker, can throw down in the kitchen. So what do you have for us as your go-to recipe here?
Yeah, okay, so I just need to reference this. My mother, I'm the youngest of 7 kids. And
You're the baby of 7, Abby.
Yes. So what that means is that my mom had to figure out how to cook and cook well for lots of people. So she's developed recipes throughout the course of her life for my whole family. And when I went off to college, my mom created this binder for my family, for me and for my future. And I get to use it with my family now. It's called The Best From Home. And so literally it's like, laminated, all the recipes. And then anytime we get new ones for Christmas, she will give us, she'll give us just like a few recipes just to put back into the binder when we all get home. So today I am doing the macaroni salad, mostly because I'm cooking it tonight for dinner. I'm having burgers. My 17-year-old son is a vegetarian, which means we try to eat as much vegetarian stuff as possible. When he's here with us, he spends half the time at his dad's house and half the time here. So we're going to be having Beyond Meat burgers. It's not a plug for them, just to say that we're vegetarian folks. And mac salad for me is just like a really great side for any kind of summer grilling kind of event. So for all intents and purposes, listen, I am not a chef by any means. I do like to cook. I have already made this dish so that this is gonna look a lot like Ina Garten, Barefoot Contessa. Like I'm basically trying to interview for a food networking show.
This is one heck of an audition right here.
Yeah, so here we go. So I'm just cutting up the celery. I'm gonna cut up about a cup of this is what it goes into the recipe. So anyways, I started to run again and I realized that running was really difficult. And I also realized that it was harder than I remember. So when it comes to, look, everybody likes having had run.
Yes, it's so true.
Everybody likes having the finished component of running. They just don't like, I mean, I'll speak for myself. I don't like having to run. But what I do appreciate is what running offers me is like a decent body, feeling good, like the endorphins and whatnot. So I started to run and now I'm actually a runner, which is so weird. I put on some headphones, I listen to books on tape and podcasts, and I just go for kind of long runs. I've been training for the New York City Marathon, but I actually just before this just found out that it was canceled, which is so sad for this year. So yeah, that's kind of the deal with running with me, and everybody out there, it's okay if you don't like running. I'm an Olympian. I literally have gold medals in my sock drawer, it's hard for me to.
What do you mean your sock drawer?
I mean, where do you put it?
Don't ask me, Abby. I wouldn't know the first place, but I imagine somewhere very visible for house guests.
Yeah, no, because guess who wants to steal that house guest that comes into the house?
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Nope. Nobody is going to Abby's house and saying, I'm going to get into the sock drawer to try to find some gold medals. That's very well played on your end. I stand corrected.
Okay, so now I'm kind of cutting up a small onion. And this is like you get to decide however much onion or celery you're into. You know, I think that when I was young, I hated onions. Our kids are not like huge fan of onions, so I determine, kind of just guess. Okay, so with this recipe, you have to combine all of the what is it called?
Your condiments.
Yeah, the condiments. Thank you. You have to combine the condiments, and then you put the macaroni and celery and onions together. And then you mix it all together. So
Which you had like mustard, mayonnaise, vinegar, or some of those condiments that you whip up along with salt and pepper to make this thing go.
Yes. So right here, it's 2 cups of mustard or 2 cups of mayo. And listen, I now run, so I feel fine about the mayonnaise. Mayonnaise, butter, and cheese. Never giving up.
Good.
So it's 2 cups of mayo and 2 tablespoons of mustard. The combination of those two are divine, in my opinion. We've got 4 tablespoons of white vinegar. We got, what is this? Is it sugar?
A little bit of sugar, yeah.
I really do like to clean up the, mustard. This stuff is like dirty, mayo.
It's like you never spilled when you get the bounty out. I mean, it gets rid of everything. It's immaculate once you're done.
It really is amazing. You know, we have dogs as well, and sometimes they don't wait to go outside to go, you know what? So we have to clean up, and Bounty is the thing that we always use. So we got 2 cups of mayo. We're mixing up the mayo, the vinegar, the mustard, the sugar, the salt, and the pepper. And you kind of got to get the mayo and everything incorporated really well, which, just takes a little bit of elbow grease.
Good little workout.
And then what I have here, I got a bowl. I have already previously cooked the pasta. So the pasta is in my drainer over here. And when the pasta comes out, you're gonna wanna run cold water over it because this is a cold macaroni salad.
Yep.
You'll be able to put it and store it into the refrigerator. And so I'm gonna put my pasta into my bowl, which looks lovely. I'm going to throw in my celery, cup of celery.
Yep.
I'm going to throw in this small onion, which is, again, you get to decide if you want it to be more celery and onion centric. Go ahead, throw as much of that in there. Now I'm going to throw on top of this that little concoction we made up. And listen, that's it.
Is this the big reveal coming here?
So this is what it kind of looks like.
I love it. Looks great.
And then before you serve it, you put it in the refrigerator to kind of like harden up the actual noodles. This has been in the refrigerator all morning and all afternoon. So this is kind of what it's supposed to look like.
And while you're getting that ready, I'm going to show off a little bit of my skill, Abby, because I too gave it a shot.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Your mama's recipe, it sounded too good not to try. How does yours taste?
It's amazing.
Feels like summer, doesn't it?
It really does. It feels like summer. It's like nostalgia in a bowl. How was your experience making it?
The experience was very good. I'm gonna give it a shot here too. Abby, I nailed it.
The thing is if that feels like too much mayo to you, just take a little bit less mayo.
No such thing.
In my world, I agree. It's actually sacrilege to ever skimp on the mayo, but you know.
Abby, a life mantra of yours, a powerful one. The Wolfpack mentality. You wrote a book entitled Wolfpack. Your magical speech at Barnard really took the world by storm and went viral. I'm not sure if you expected the reaction you got, but it was an incredibly positive one. During Pride, and especially during Pride Month, it seems like a message that's incredibly important. Can you share with us what that message is exactly?
You know, I think that going back to the whole running and hating the run thing, one of the things, you know, I would go for this run and I would come home and I would kind of complain to Glennon, like, God, that's so hard. I don't know why that was so hard. Why is it so difficult? I'm an Olympian. This should be easy for me. And one day she just got tired of like hearing me complain again. And she just said, listen, you don't have your team with you. Of course it's going to be harder. And it was like this light bulb that just went off on my whole body. From the time that I can remember walking, I have been on a team. I was on this team when I was a young kid. I was the youngest of 7 children. And then I played on all sports teams growing up. And people ask me all the time what I miss most about playing. And it's not the playing. I mean, yeah, that was fun, but it's the people. I miss the connections with my teammates. I miss the accountability and the way that I was able to push myself, because I looked to my right and looked to my left and I saw these other women who were pushing themselves beyond. And the only way I could stay there in that environment was if I did the exact same. And I think that for me is one of the most important elements of how our women's national team was able to, and is still able to achieve the levels of success that they do, is because they do it together. That doesn't mean they have to be best friends. That doesn't even mean that they have to see eye to eye on every political subject or have every opinion, same opinion. Like, what makes our women's national team so special is that we do come from different parts of the world and different parts of the country rather. And we do completely respect each other, no matter what, because we're all dropping everything else to come and join in this one goal, this one job, and that's to win. And I think that for me kind of encompasses everything about what it meant to be a national team player. And so the book Wolfpack, that started off as a speech from Barnard, it really is kind of the lessons and stuff that I learned from my time playing on the national team, and also the things that I was able to learn from the people around me. And you know, the biggest lesson, we can talk about making failure fuel, we can talk about championing each other. There's so many things in the speech and in the book that are, I think, really valuable. But the most important thing is this idea of finding your people and finding your wolf pack or finding your pack, or however you want to say it, in order to have real success. Like, I have talked to the most successful people in the world and I have asked them these questions, and the most common answer is like, I have to have people around me. I have to have smart people around me. I have to have my kind of people around me in order to level up, in order to, you know, our women's national team, people don't understand this. Every single practice you're trying out,
Yeah.
every single training session, every single camp, you're going in and you're trying to make that starting lineup. You're trying to make the roster for that team. So you're always constantly pushing yourself to be better. And I learned early on in my career, one of the coaches, she sat me down and she said, look, I'm watching you play and I just don't know if you're playing hard enough. Are you doing your best? And I said to her, I said, well, there are moments where I'm not going in as hard to tackles because I'm afraid to hurt my teammates. And April Heinrichs, the coach at the time, she just flatly said, if you're not playing it, you're 100%, then you're actually making your teammates worse. And it was like one of the first times I had heard this idea of, oh, you know, because we women, we want to be more modest and we want to be humble and we don't want to ruffle feathers or upset people. But our women's national team, the environment and the culture there is, I'm going to do my very best, not just because I want to be my best, but I want to pull out your best. And it's like this idea of always trying to get better every single day. And yes, that is exhausting, by the way. It is exhausting having to know that you're going to go into this training session and you're going to beat each other up a little bit, and you're going to get a little bit upset with each other. You know, the ball doesn't go out of bounds, or the referee doesn't make the call, or whatever. You come in a little bit too hard, and then once you leave practice, you're like, yeah, good job, thank you for that. You know, like, so for me, it's like finding the people that you want to do life with is one of the most important decisions you can make, because you are the environment that you keep. You become the people that you hang out with. And that truly is like kind of how I have navigated my life, especially in my retirement.
Abby, such powerful words there. I can't believe we're getting to the end of our virtual party here and hanging out. We've had good food, we've shared stories, we've had some laughs. Knowing that you are the motivational speaker that you are, knowing that you've discovered that voice, that powerful voice that you have, I think there's a message surely you have within you for everybody out there, our fans, our friends that are listening, hanging out, cooking with us and listening all the way through. If you could share some words for them in the spirit of pride, the inclusivity, living our truths, and all of the special things that come with it, what would you say to everyone out there?
You know, I think that I've been in such a discovery period, personally speaking, since retiring, because I identified just as an athlete for basically the whole of my life. But when I retired, that costume kind of had to come off, and I had to figure out who I was, what I wanted, and the things that I wanted to spend my time doing. And I think that one of the things, obviously I just talked about that with the Wolfpack mentality and the idea of finding your people. But before you can actually find your people, you actually have to know yourself. You got to know what makes you happy. You got to know what makes you sad. You got to know what you want with your life, with this one precious life that we have. And I think for a long time in my life, I wasn't really doing that personal work because I was kind of just in like go mode, playing soccer, being on the national team. And yes, it was awesome. I loved every second of it. But I think that in the real world, after, you know, the glory and the fame, being settled in a life that feels real and feels peaceful has truly changed things for me. So I don't know. I think that with everything that's going on in the world, with the pandemic and you know, the fight for racial justice in this country, and it being Pride Month, I just think that we all have to take a beat and figure out what it is that we all believe. And truly, because I started to do this work recently, you know, over the last 4 or 5 years, I have uncovered a more beautiful, in touch sense to my own life and to the people around me. You know, Gay Pride Month for me is about celebrating everybody and all of our, and in all of our differences and in all of that glory. That is what makes life so interesting, is to meet somebody new that doesn't look like you, that doesn't think like you, that doesn't talk like you, and learn and educate. So for me, yeah, it's not just about the company that you keep, it's also about the person that you know yourself to be. And if you are in line with the values that you hold, and the time that you're spending with your day.
So beautifully eloquent. Salt of the earth, a legend on and off the field. Like we said, welcoming you in. Abby Wambach, can I have a virtual hug?
Jordan, man, yes.
Love
So
right here.
great spending this time with you, dude. I appreciate it.
You are the absolute best. Stay safe, stay happy, and most importantly, stay healthy. And give a shout out to Glennon. We loved her outfits.
I will. I'm going to stay safe, and I'm going to stay healthy, and I'm going to stay clean. Thanks to
There
that.
you go. We're here to help. Abby, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much, Jordan.